Testing 1, 2, 3. Here we go. All right. Here we go, everybody. Welcome back to the Pocket Dimension, where we'll be continuing to paint the monthly monsters for March and April. Didn't quite get them finished last month for various reasons, health and the like. That happens sometimes. So let's go ahead and get the chat popped out here. I'm going to pop out here. And we're going to pop out. And pop out over here. And we're going to pop out over here. That way I can have everybody's winsome words all in one place. Come along, YouTube. Here we go. Yes, yes, yes. I know. All right. Let's see. Pop out chat. All right. Here we go. All right. So I've got all the chat in all the places for everybody. So, all right. Very good. So, excuse me. I've just gotten over, kind of only been over, and I'm still got a bit of a cough yet. So, forgive me. It's been a rough 2 or 3 weeks here. So, hope everybody's doing well tonight. It's the beginning of another week. I would say another glorious week, but I don't know if it is a glorious week or not. It is just a week. It's going to be what it is, I guess. There's too much work and not enough of me at work. That's the problem. Just don't have enough help getting covered up. It's frustrating. I wish I could paint for a living. But this is fun. Takes the edge off. And for those of you who want to help support the channel, you can go to w.gg if you like energy drinks and try any number of their flavors. Use my code Rocket Fuel, ROKKITFUEL, for a discount. So check them out. Your purchase helps the channel. Or you can become a subscriber on Twitch. And also be eligible for be part of the monthly Monster Club with your subscription. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually opening up the monthly Monster Club to viewers who are in the chat when I get done with when I do the drawings. Just as a little bit more of a legal thing. Or if you share on Instagram, hit hashtag monthly monster. Help the channel grow on YouTube with the like, share, and subscribe function. Whatever you do is appreciated. So come on over and yeah, become part of the monthly monster club. Now I'm using ice yellow. I went ahead and used a little bit of orange brown to give a little depth to these spikes on this thing, even though they're kind of more in the chitin rather than actual spikes growing out independent of anything else. But I figured I'd like to make something sort of stand out. I didn't want it to just be boring blue all over, so I wanted to make some things stand out. And the picture on the packaging also had kind of the same coloration. It was mostly blue, but then they had some brighter yellowish color on the spikes. So we're just going with that. Hey Midril, how's it going? Good to see you. How's things in your world? How's your channel going for you? I haven't stopped in to see you for a while. Just things have been crazy between work and health and one thing or another, and I think a couple of times I was finishing up and I didn't see your. I would have rated out to you, but I didn't see your stream up and running, so didn't get to. And then I just been busy the last couple of months between Adepticon and everything else. And that's why I'm doing 2 monthly monsters for April and for March and April. So I'm doing both Remorhaz. So I'm doing a mommy Remora and a baby Remora, or maybe it's a daddy Remora, I don't know. Whatever it is, doing one of each, and I'm gonna give them both. I'm gonna give them both away, not to the same person. Well, maybe to the same person, but I'm going to actually make 2 drawings this month for them. So let's see. Things are busy. Spent the evening pounding tomato steaks. Nice. Channel is going fairly consistent. Nothing exciting. Well, consistency is exciting, quite honestly, if you ask me. Consistency is key, definitely. Yeah, well, that happens. I had COVID 3 times, and not my fault. I mean, I was doing everything I was supposed to do. And this last thing was just a weird, just really bad chest infection. It wasn't COVID. I took 2 tests, and neither one of them came back positive. So, but that was rough. It was like almost 2 weeks I had this thing, and it's still in my chest a little bit. And And since I'm just a little over 50, I'm starting to be more concerned with things like pneumonia. Especially since one of my childhood heroes, Jim Henson, died of walking pneumonia. And he was about, I don't know, 45, close to 50 when he died. So that's always something to be concerned with. But ever since I had COVID, my health has just been shot. I catch just about anything that comes along, and it's just one of those things. But this last month has just been rough, and work is crazy. Too much work, not enough me. So I'm an electrician, and I've got time and materials projects that I need to get to, but I also keep getting covered up with service calls, so I can't get to those T&M projects where people are depending on things to be done. Oh, it's a mess. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, it is just an absolute. Again, there's too much work and not enough me. And a lot of it has to do with the my old supervisor who went to greener pastures last year, and it left me with about 250% more work overall on average, and I just can't keep up, and we don't have any manpower in the shop. And because we're a union, we can't just hire anybody. It's it's ridiculous. There's some big projects up north, and that kind of sucked up a lot of the help out of our local. So it is what it is. Oh, ad, sorry. I didn't realize the ad was up and running. So let me know when the ad is over. So I need to get a an auxiliary monitor, a little tiny one that I can have right in front of me, so I can see when that sort of thing happens. Because my computer is to my left, and it's very difficult to keep an eye on it. So let me know when the ad goes off. Because the way I'm doing things now, it doesn't show it to me. Unfortunately. that's pretty cool. That looks pretty decent. Let's see. Let's get off-white here. And I'm going to paint some off-white between these legs of this thing and dress up the base a little bit. Oh, yeah, this doesn't have a nozzle in it. Never did. Never did. So we're going to go ahead and clean up around the base here. It's all about the base. So, all right, very good. You're more than welcome to lurk. Getting the kids to bed, that's there's a chore for you. Good to have you in here, Midrill. Appreciate you being here. I need to check on something. My phone I just heard something come through on my phone. I'm gonna have to go check on that here in just a second. Give me just I hate to stop in the middle of something, but it's in the evening and somebody texted me, and the evening is not generally something that happens too often. So I better check and see what that's all about. I hate to stop in the middle of a process. Very irritating. But I need to take off here and check on that. Poop, 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 poop. All right. I'll be back in just a minute after these messages. I wish I had a slideshow I could put on of all the figures I've painted over the last few years. But since I don't, I'm going to do this. Actually, we'll call it a bio break, even though it's not really a bio break. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Okay, and we're back. Hopefully, you're back. I'm back. You're back. Front, back, side to side. All's well as ends well, I guess. So, no problems. That was somebody sent me something funny. A little disheartening, actually. The Raiders of the Lost Ark was released in 1981, and it was set in 1936. See where I'm going with this? So the time frame between 1936 and 1981 is the same as now in 1981. I don't know if that's I don't know if that makes me feel very good. All right. Good. Got that all covered up. Cool. And we'll do the same thing to this dude here. I'm going to see if I can Well, what do you know? That base is too big for a this thing is too small. I can't fit this on that. I can't fit this on the base holder. Oh well. Pumpkin, what are you found? You sound like you found something plastic. Cats and kids, they always find things that you don't want them to find, and they figure that it's a good idea to put it in their mouth. Right? What are you doing? Come here, you. Come here. Come here, Pumpkin. Oh, if I do that too often, he'll learn. He'll learn not to chase the string. Oh well. We'll figure out that when we come to it. But he is a cat. He is an orange cat. They're not that smart. Actually, they're probably smarter than we let on. Or they let on. So it seems like Remorhaz have more legs when they're smaller. It would seem. So, just trying to clean this up a little bit. We're going till about 11 o'clock tonight. It is 9:30. So, Dee dee. Oh, Pumpkin's at the door. He figures he belongs in here. He doesn't really. It's the only place in the house I really don't let him to go. Because he likes to knock things off. I'll tell you what, you sleeping at night? No, you aren't. He'll knock things off. 2 in the morning. Gotta knock things off the shelf. Take special precautions. Make something set up so he can't knock it off the shelf. Oh, he knocks it off the shelf. Keys, wallet, phone, things you need to have in your pocket for the next day. What you might call your everyday carry, which is not which is not the everyday carry that you're thinking of. I'm talking about like drill bits and sockets that you'll need. I keep drill bits and sockets and screws in my pocket. I always have a small selection because it's a lot easier to have a socket in your pocket than to have it in the toolbox where you gotta fish through it. And there's about 2 or 3 commonly used sizes of hex heads that I run into, so I keep those in my pocket, and that way if I ever need to use that socket, I just pull it out of my pocket and put it on the impact driver, and away I go. No problems, no fuss, no muss, no getting out more tools than I need to get out, So, yeah. But in the morning, I can almost always count on them being on the floor, because cats. Pumpkin, not cats in general, just Pumpkin. Though I think probably a lot of people have similar experiences with their cats. That white can't be dry already. Maybe it is. Maybe that little bit of white already dried up on me. Huh. Very strange. Well, we'll touch that up when the time comes. Touch up all these legs here in a little while, so that we don't get blue all over the base again. Electrician. Close. I work around a lot of HVAC equipment, and I supply power for it usually, but I have a little bit of an understanding of HVAC, but I'm an electrician, so it's on the other side of the HVAC stuff. pretty rudimentary understanding of the HVAC. But pulling the vacuums and everything, that's not something I could probably work on everything but the actual refrigeration lines themselves if I had to. And even then, it's not a stretch. Oh, no problem. Don't need to take it so big there, Midrill. That's not a. There's no test. There's no not going to be a quiz on it, you know. So what I'm doing is I'm irrigating the places that I got paint that I don't want the paint to be there, so I can clean them off, clear it off. Now, if there's a little bit of white left over, just a smidgen, I'm not terribly upset with it because it'll add to a little bit of a frosting effect. But I am going to go back over it and highlight some of these things with turquoise as well. So, but mostly I just want to get this where I slop the blue on here. I want to not have the blue on the base, so I'm using an off-white here. Just had to have a system installed. It was rough. Yeah. It they don't give those things away. I mean, you're looking at a minimum of, just for the split system, if you don't have to do any um, if you don't have to do any duct work, you're looking at least, well, it used to be about 5,000. Now it's probably about 7,500 with labor included. So, yeah, they don't give it away. That's for sure. Which reminds me, I need to change out my filters as well. So, furnace was good. 3-ton system, just under 7. Yeah. Yeah, the joys of home ownership, right? Get a job, start a family, buy a home. It'll be fun, they said. Everything comes with a price. Even the good things. Even good things have their drawbacks. A little bit of good, a little bit of bad, a little give, a little take. Sometimes a whole lot of give and not much take. Not so much take, so much get. You know. But, it's keeps you honest, I guess. You know, I mean, you got enough things you got to take care of that you're supposed to take care of. If you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, you won't have time to do the things you're not supposed to do. That's the way I see it. What was the old line? Keeps you off the street and out of trouble. So, right, that's good. That's some good coverage there with that off-white. Checks out, yeah. All right, let's get a little bit of this Prussian blue here. I just want to touch up some of the places that I got white back on that I didn't really want white to go on. And then after that, we're going to use some turquoise and do some highlights. And then we're going to do the faces if we've got enough time tonight. And let's see. Let's go ahead and start out with the big one. First of all. And just kind of touch up some of these places where my fingers touched. Might do something different with some of these claws too. I don't know. Let's bring a little bit of that white in. And we'll do some, do little highlights back here along these along some of these spots here. It's a little bit of a frostier blue with that Prussian blue mixed into that off-white. Awful white. Off-white or awful white? And let's do something. Let's highlight up here a little bit more because it just is a good place to highlight. Get a little frosty, some frosty qualities here. Maybe too much, not enough, I don't know. Kind of not feeling too inspired by these, really. These Remorhaz. Maybe because it's more of a duty, you know. I don't know. They're just difficult. There's a lot of little. I think that's what it is. Is they're just a little. They're just kind of difficult. That's all it is. So we'll just do a little bit of there, and a little here, a little there, a little right there. Just a little bit. Just some kind of sketchy sort of highlights. Nothing too fancy. Right there, and then right where it starts to get into the shade, I think we'll just back it off a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. That actually works out not too shabby, as the kids say. Not too shabby. And we'll just pick up some brightness just to give a little pick out, just to pick out some of these higher edges here. Just a little touch and go. Nothing real fancy. Just enough to kind of separate those segments. Give it something interest. Just adding interest. I guess that's the thing, is just adding interest here. That's what we're trying to do. It's kind of something I learned from old Bob Ross. We're adding interest. We're not really trying to do anything that's necessarily descriptive. We're just adding interest. Just something. We're trying to give something to look at, even if it's not precise. It doesn't have to be precise. Sometimes sketchy looking figures with sketchy loose paint style is actually really neat. That's something I'd like to learn to do more, or lean more into. A more loose paint style. Kind of like Holy Fire Them over on their channel, and my friend Black Skull 1969. Follow him on Instagram if you don't care to. He's got a very sketchy manner of painting. And I don't mean sketchy as in shady. I mean, it's got that real loose style that it's kind of it has this an impressionistic sort of a way about it that I think is really kind of cool. So, but there is a lot of little ridges and everything on here. It look really good dry brushed, but I'm not a big. It's not that not a big fan of dry brushing. It's just on something like this, dry brushing could just it would work very well, but I think just kind of glance and go is kind of neat. Gives a little bit of a gives like I said, it leans into that more loose paint style. Like something I've been trying to kind of leaning into a little more lately. Everybody wants to do these really super high contrast, high detail uh, illustrative styles of painting, and I'm starting to see different schools develop in miniatures painting. Um, you've got the hyper realistic, illustrative like sort of painting, and then you've got the more sort of open, loose, sketchy style, which a lot of people like to lean into they like that really more realistic illustrative style. Things look like portraits, really, almost. It's like taking a three-dimensional object and making it look more two-dimensional. Like if you actually saw that in a book, it would be more of a painting as opposed to an actual miniature. Because when you take a picture of it, the way the light works, it kind of flattens out, but it has the qualities of an illustration, if that makes sense. I always think it's funny to paint something that exists in a 3D space. I always think it's funny to see it painted up with methods that are meant to make something that's two-dimensional look three-dimensional when you've already got something that's three-dimensional. Which, don't get me wrong, those are great. I mean, the people that paint that way are amazing, and they really turn out top drawer stuff. And I wish I could paint like that. I wish I had the patience to do it. People always ask me if I have patience, if I need it. I must take a lot of patience to paint those little figures. Not really. It really doesn't. It doesn't take the patience that you would think that it does. Not really. People think that just because it's small, you have to be precise, and you can see the size of the brush that I'm using. I'm definitely not being precise. Definitely not. I'm just letting the paint flow as it will off the brush. Just letting it catch those surfaces as you go. So, just like that. So that doesn't look too bad. Not too bad at all, if you ask me. So, all right. What's next? Well, I think the face is next. So I'm going to add a little bit of this gray into this blue and white concoction we got going on here. Hey, Myar, how's it going? A full day. I'm glad you've had a full day. Now it's a good time to relax, isn't it, right? I had a full day too, quite honestly. Started out a little bit before 7 and wound up back home just a little after 5. So, welcome to adulthood, right? As they would say. I'm going to paint this guy's little beard here. A full day. Well, nothing wrong with having a full day. Nothing wrong at all. Kind of reminds you what being at home is all about, right? Relax for an hour and then bed. Yep. Yep. Paint for a couple hours and then bed. Same thing here. Watch Build Paint Play at 7 o'clock. Do my stream from 9 to 11 or so. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. It's a nice way to finish up the day. I've got a couple of service calls to go on. Well, I've got at least one service call to go on tomorrow. I was on one today. Out of town. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that was good. Brighten up his little blue face here. Take a little bit of this yellow, ice yellow. See what happens there. Little ice yellow. That might be too much. Little off-white. Little ice yellow. Little blue. The older I get, the more there's no place like home is my motto. Yeah, exactly. Helped coworker mow, came home and mowed. Yeah, did laundry, filled the chest, rabbit pen cleaned, drove the trash to the dump. Now finally, I breathe. Wow, that is definitely a day, Miar. That's for sure. That is definitely a day. Yes, sirree. Absolutely. It's definitely an interesting little paint job here. This face is very interesting. I don't really know how to make it look right, you know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Just kind of trying to brighten that face up so it doesn't get lost in the blue, you know. But I want to stay inside the kind of inside the color temperatures here. So this might be getting a little too cold. But it has a nice contrast with the spines that are kind of warm. So that's nice. That's good. Critter is looking sweet. Thank you, uh, Miar. Here's Junior too. So Junior's coming right along. So basically doing one just like the other. I figure they. Now I don't know much about the ecology of Remorhaz, I will say, but I mean it could be that the young ones. Um, I mean it's entirely possible that they're supposed to be different colored altogether, but you know I don't. The packaging didn't say anything about it. It didn't look like it, so it's just going to be what it's going to be, you know. And I may just do a little bit of a wash. I may use some speed paints as a wash and do a reductive style wash again, you know. Maybe grays or something. 5 or more. 5 or more what? Remorhaz? I don't know. Do they have 5 or more young? I really don't know. I couldn't say. The streak thing has never worked for me. I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what I've been trying to do, Miar, is I've been trying to do more of a loose style with this. So kind of like Bennett, Holy Fire them does, the way they do their work and the way Black Skull does his work. I'm trying to lean into a little bit more of a looser style. With this one anyway. But I don't know if they have a different. You know how deer, how fawns will have spots and the like. I mean, I don't know if Remorhaz have different colorations when they're younger than when they're older. You know, so 5 watch streak. Oh, 5 watch streak. Oh. Well, my problem is I think I've missed a couple of streams because of being out of town for work or health, you know. I've had a couple of streams where I had to miss. So I don't know if that has any impact, but and I didn't notice. See, I've got you on the pop out part of the chat, so I don't know if a lot of those notifications don't come through when it's popped out like that. I don't know. 5 watch streak though. I don't know exactly how that works. But I'm glad you're here, regardless of what Twitch thinks of it. You know, glad to have you. Glad to have you on board, matey, as we would say at Sea Dog Game Studios. We're very nautical. Not really. Not that much. We like our nautical terms and terminology, but we don't lean into it quite that much. I mean, arg, I. Yarg. All right. Sorry if you can't see anything. I just got to get my hands in a position to be able to control the brush here. I'm just kind of hitting these ribs. I'm tickling these ribs on this thing, or as we used to say when my dad would tickle attack us kids, rickling the tibs. Oh, I got so many things I got to do and see about and contact people about. Just there's work and then there's work, you know. I'd like to make content creation work, but it's just going to have to be a hobby for a while. Problem is time and energy and time. That is the bane of the adult existence, you know. I got lots of footage in the can that I need to edit, especially some neat stuff from Adepticon. So I've got a lot of things I got to edit up from Adepticon that, you know, that sits in the can, and it's only got so much of a lifespan, you know. But I haven't really seen a lot of coverage from a lot of post Adepticon coverage, so I don't know. Maybe it's just not something that hits as big as it did years ago. Not that it's really ever hit big. Convention coverage is always spotty. It's funny, like even Adam Loper has not had really good success as many people follow him. he just doesn't have good success with post convention or convention reviews or convention videos. Very odd. But I guess what it boils down to is what your audience is following you for. But I've got a lot of things, and I don't know what works. I know that my Adepticon video, my getting ready for Adepticon video, did not hit well. I think there were 94 people that watched that one, 94 views. Whereas my Ralpartha visit was like almost 400 views, like 397, 300 and some odd. So maybe need to do more visits, you know. Which there's more coming from the Ralpartha side of things here, should be soon. That's the plan anyhow. So let's see. Just got that. I'm falling for a modest talent and a humor I enjoy. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Well, and that's the thing. A lot of times people follow for personality. They'll follow because social media isn't necessarily about the things you say. Sometimes it's just about you, which is really weird. So, but I'm glad that somebody thinks I'm fun to be around. So thank you, Miar. The cat likes me too. Who am I kidding? The cat just wants fed. That's all. All right. So that's pretty good. Modest talent. Yes, very modest talent. Try to be encouraging. That's really it. Try to leave the world a better place than when you found it, right? Have good words to say to people. Give a little quiet space in a world of chaos. Lean into the Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross sort of a vibe. Quiet. That's what I like. I like quiet. I wish I had more bells and whistles on my channel. I wish I knew how to do that. But I just really haven't sat down and had a chance to really figure out how to do all of that stuff. Again, time, energy. Not that I don't have the inclination. You can have all the inclination in the world. But you might not be able to do anything about it. You know? And that's just the long and short of it. Some in-depth vids on each little line. Yeah, maybe. Like, oh, Thunder Mountain. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would be, man, I tell you what, I would love to chat with Tom Meyer. Tom Meyer's the guy that sculpts all that Thunder Mountain. So, yeah. I, uh, I'm right there with you, Miar. I know what you're saying. I know Jacob, the Ralpartha guy, has done a couple of interviews with um, Tom Meyer. You could probably look those up, but I don't know what the channel would be. But yeah, I mean, a little bit more in depth on some of those product lines. Yeah, I don't disagree, Miar. I think that would be a great. That would be a nice. That's a good subject. And then there's the observational subjects. You know, the why do we do what we do when we paint, kind of things. You know. Hey, old Manchu warrior. Good to see you. How's everything in your part of the world? Haven't seen you for a while. Nice to see you're still on this side of the grass, as they say in Old Manchu. All right, I think that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So we've got a young Remorhaz and we got an old Remorhaz, or an adult. So a juvenile and an adult there. So I think I think it's good time to paint their faces. Let's go. Let's see. Let's use this pale pink for the mouth parts. Oh, I got something today that would probably interest you, Manchu warrior. Um, where is it? I just had it a minute ago. Ah, here it is. So, the Army Painter has just released World War II specific colors. So this happens to be the British set, and it's 20 different paints. Everything from matte white and matte black to steel to brown tone. But what I thought was interesting was the dark battle, the base, mid, and high and highlight tone for the battle dress for the uniform, and then command red for berets, and you could actually get even the colors you needed for the denizen smock, all in there. So all the colors you need for World War II British are in this kit, and this is actually up for pre-order right now. So you can go ahead and order this from the Army Painter. They've got British, American, and German sets. So eventually I think I will definitely do a review of that. But that's up for pre-order right now. I happen to get my hands on a copy. So shout out to Dave Taylor and Jake Krajewski at Build Paint Play. I actually won that in a drawing, so that's kind of an advanced copy, I think, to build some hype. So it's up for, you can go ahead and order those now. So haven't hobbied since I charcoaled that picture of Grandpa. I need to get back into it. Yeah, Miar. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, the thing is that was a big project you took on there. Your picture of your granddad. That was pretty amazing. It was really good. That was a really good job on that. But that is that was definitely got the old, what do they call that, creative juices going, I guess. So I could definitely see how that could need a little time to recharge your your creative juices. That was, I know you were kind of stressing about it, but you did an amazing job. I mean, what was it? What's the old term? You did a man's job, sir. It was a man's job. Quite impressive, you are. Quite impressive. I could not do that. Quite impressive. Need to clean some of the house. I've realized I've not done anything to help it any. I need to clear the back room so I have room to airbrush again. Sure. I need to learn how to use an airbrush. Everybody keeps talking about airbrush this and airbrush that. It's like it's going to be the next big thing. Oh, you thought slap chop was the thing. Now it's going to be airbrushes. Which that's fine. I haven't touched an airbrush since I was in high school, and it didn't go well then. Slap chop has, oh, grisaille. Grisaille. That's the under sketch kind of light to dark zenithal with the glazing over it, which is the slap chop, which is more properly called grisaille, the art term for it. Yeah. Yeah, the slap chop has always been around in the art, excuse me, on the art side of things. It's just, and one of the first people that applied it to miniatures painting was named Duke Seaford. And Duke had some amazing. He had thousands of miniatures, but he real force in the hobby. He had a Battle of Five Armies layout at Origins one year, and it had the Lonely Mountain. So you had a 16-foot board in front of the mountain, and the mountain itself was had to been between 6 and 8 feet tall. So, yep, Rizal. But he called it, now Duke called it stain painting, but he used to do classes on how he painted so many figures so fast. And he called it stain painting, because that's really what he would do. Is he would work the pigments down to really just enough to stain the undercoat with white or tan or gray, and then he would just inform that color with thin down paint. And then seal it. So I mean, it's you can do speed painting techniques with regular paint. Um, it's just the speed paints that they have nowadays, the way they are formulated to flow, they just work better for the process. But it's been a process that's been around for a while. Let's see what we got here. Oh, wow. Thanks for the gifted sub. Two gifted subs from Miar. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Thanks, Miar. Thanks for the gifts. So, folks, if you've got a gifted subscription from Miar tonight, why don't you go ahead and see about paying it forward? So, if you enjoy the stream, find it useful, we got an ad starting up in about 56 seconds here. Hype Train level 2. Manchu got one. Yep, supposed to be 5. Oh, wow. Did you get 5? 5 tier 1 subs. Nice. Scoot HQ, Time New, and Napiso, Crystal Blazer, 78, and Old Manchu all got hooked up by Miar tonight. Thank you, Miar. Appreciate that. That will help keep the lights on. Very generous, Miar. Thank you very much. So. Oh, wow. And some bits. Awesome. Holy cow. That's terrific, Miar. Wow, that's very generous of you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Hope I'm worth it. Try to be worth it. Try to earn my keep. Anything that is donated, I try to put back into the channel somehow. So. All right. Well, thank you, Miara. I appreciate it. I appreciate being appreciated, and I just hope I'm worth it. All right, let's take a little bit of bright jade. Well, let's see. Nope, 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 nope. Let's take some dark turquoise, some Procryl dark turquoise. Although I think I've got, I think I've got an equivalent dark turquoise over here in the Army Painters section. It's just a little further away than I care to reach for right now. And I think I'm going to use that as a highlight on this blue. Turquoise, there's nothing wrong with using turquoise as a highlight for blue. It's actually pretty good. So we're just going to hit some high spots. Again, we're just looking to break out some of the just looking to break out some of the shapes, because when everything's the same color, it can tend to look muddy, even if you're not using a muddy colors like browns or whatever. It just tends to all fade together, and a little bit of the punchiness that turquoise gives is going to help break things up a little bit. Uh-oh, we got a hype chest here. Let's see what is in this hype chest. Hey, Quantum is here. How's it going, Quantum? Alright, we got the button mash emote. Woohoo! Quantum is here. Now the party starts. The little one is so cute next to the big one. Yeah, it is, right? So, Black Skull, how's it going, Black Skull? Been talking about you a little bit tonight. Been talking about your kind of loose painting technique that I really like so much. Your under sketching, that loose sort of method you have. You and Holy Fire them, you and Bennett both have that sort of more loose style. I'm trying to lean into that a little bit with this figure, because I don't really know where to go with some of it, so to speak. But yeah, the Remorhaz is an interesting figure to paint, because it's one of those ones that could be very boring, because it could be very much the same color all over. So that is the trick here, is to add some interest on it. So Myar has given a sub to Quantum, and Black Skull got it. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Whew, thanks a lot, Myar. I appreciate that very much. Now that's great, folks. If you want a free subscription and an opportunity to win these fine Remorhaz, by all means, hop on in here. So these are going to, and I've got some light blue going on here, just kind of trying to keep it a little bit loose, not get too formulaic with this. That's kind of the trick. So the thing I like about Black Skull's painting is that he puts detail into it where detail is needed, nowhere else. Yes, exactly, Quantum. That's a good way to analyze what Black Skull's doing with his paint work. That is something that I appreciate about it. He just paints what needs to be painted. It's very here's the thing, and I don't know if I've mentioned it here on this channel at times, but I feel like a lot of times people They take classes, they learn a style, or they're less interested in learning methods and more interested in learning how to paint like somebody else, right? So they get sort of this starstruck. Oh, they want to go and they want to learn to paint like Mamikon, or they want to learn to paint like Squidmar, or they want to learn to paint like learn to paint like somebody, instead of learning how a person approaches the subject and learning methods and techniques and tips and tricks to enhance their own style. I think people are copying styles right now as opposed to um, finding their own way. And that's one reason why we saw who we saw winning the things that we saw winning at, say, like Golden Demon this year. Um, it was the people that were making those styles, or people that have been in the hobby long enough to really develop their own style. And there were a lot of technically good pieces, I thought, but they felt like they were somebody else's style being copied. And that's not to take away anything from anybody that competed by any means. I mean, it was all good work, but some of it just felt more technical than style, if that makes sense. It was like, I've got to put this stroke here and that stroke here, instead of finding their own way of doing it. If that makes sense. And I don't mean to be critical of anybody. I mean, that's nobody in particular, but because there was a lot of really good work, but it was just so technical. Um, but the pieces that were standout were the pieces that broke the rules. Like, I don't know if I think Black Skull pointed this one piece out. It was the power armor. It was like the assault Space Marine thing, but it was like bunny rabbit ears and like what would you call it? Oh, like almost like bubble bath bubbles coming out the the jump pack. It was really neat. It was like metallic pink and fuchsia. It was There was a lot of humor in it. There was a lot of interest in it, but obviously it wasn't, grim dark serious where uh, it was going to go much more than where it went. I know it had to have gotten meant like it probably didn't get a finalist pin, but I think it got didn't it get a commendation at least, because it really was good. It took a lot of technical ability, but it was I feel like it had a lot of style because it was something different and it was something interesting, as opposed to, say, just another Space Marine number 477,936.2. You know, let's see. Let's see. I've been missing up a little bit here. Let's see. It's one of the reasons I do so few GW minis. Too much detail to edit out. Yes, very true, Black Skull. Exactly. Too much detail muddies a piece. Yep. Let's see. I agree. More recent focus has been texture, not only using limited palettes, but using the paints in ways that generates the illusion of different textures. Yeah, Black Skull, exactly. I like that. The wood bond group, yep. I think the Alice Assassin got the Eldritch Foundry Award, the mixture of tones and textures they created. Yeah. Gel Tip is rating with a party of 3. Orc Paint Shop rating with a party of 4. Wow, thanks for the raids, you guys. All right. Hey. All right. Well, I got a raid and run. Well, that's just fine. I understand. We all have only so much time in any day. Hello, Gel Tip. Welcome into the Pocket Dimension, everybody. I am JP, your host. Not with the most, but here we like to paint things, and we paint all the things. We does what it says on the tin. We paint all the things here in the pocket dimension. And tonight, we're working on the monthly monster, which is actually the monster for both March and April. We're just finishing up here. It is a pair of Remorhaz. So a junior Remorhaz and an adult Remorhaz. And I'm just working on doing up some highlights with some dark turquoise here. So that is what we're working on here in the pocket dimension. What are you all working on out there? Tell us a little bit about what's going on in your hobby adventures this week. And of course, there is the advertisement for Dubby, which is a little energy drink that I have tried, and I like their product, and they're sponsoring me. I like it because it gives me energy, doesn't give me a big bad headache or a big bad crash at the bottom, at the end. And yeah, so you can get a discount if you use my um, code there. And we'll just do a little highlight around the edge of this fin arrangement here. I don't think I like that right there. We may just chalk that one up. Just do this. But I'm using a little bit of the dark turquoise to give a little bit of more brightness, a little more interest to this blue. So I'm staying well within a cool palette with blues, dark blues, light blues. And yeah, so that's the plan here. And yeah, so welcome in Raiders, everybody that raided in. Gel Tip, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. So, hope everything's going well in your world. Working on a bust for May the Bust, but tonight Orc and I dual streamed. Oh, nice. And I was trying another scenic plinth. It's really harder than it looks. Yeah, be the first in your neighborhood to earn your Junior Remorhaz badge. That's right. These are the monthly monsters. And what I may do, I may just, whenever I get ready to, now generally what I've been doing is to drive subscriptions. Those of you who are subscribed to the channel are put into the monthly monster club to be drawn exclusively from. Because if you are supporting the channel, this is a way for me to give back to you if you are subscribed. But I may start including regular watchers and whoever shows up for that evening whenever we get done. But you never know when we're going to get done with these sometimes, so you got to be there and you got to be watching, right? But because the thing is I give it away. I've been mostly focused on giving this away to subscribers, but I don't know, like, it's just mostly a thank you to the subscribers. But I should probably start considering other people too that may not be able to subscribe for whatever reason. So it's a thought. considered other people too, but my wife got mad and made me stop. What is this? So, all right. So that's good. It's quarter till 11. Oh my. We go till 11, generally speaking, on this channel. From 9 to 11 on Tuesday nights. And from 7 to 11 on Thursday nights. This Thursday we'll probably be finishing up this pair of Gormless fellas. And, or maybe they're women. Maybe they're female Remorhaz. I don't know. Maybe one's a dad, maybe dad and daughter, maybe daddy daughter. Maybe they're going to the annual Remorhaz daddy daughter dance. I mean, we don't know. We don't know what their lifestyle is like. We don't know what their culture is like. We don't want to just assume they're monsters and that they're out to eat you, out to eat your face. I mean, that's just inconsiderate, right? So we don't want to just assume that they're monsters because they're ugly. They probably think that each other is beautiful. I mean, it could be daddy daughter. Maybe they're going to the daddy daughter dance. The father daughter dance. Maybe she's graduating. Maybe she's graduating like kindergarten. You know. We don't know. We don't know what their life is like. We don't know their struggles. I mean, it's bad enough. I think they live in the snow. So, yeah. So we'll do a snow basing on them. Last few figures I've had have been centered around snow, which I think that's just because of the figures that they've been, and those have been sort of the lore that belongs to them. So we're going to get a little, put those top joints, just get a little turquoise here, give it some interest. Deadbeat Remorhaz only has his daughter on the weekends, takes her to the Greyhawk Mall, and gets soft dwarf pretzels in the zoo. Nice. Nice. Little world building. Little world building. We like to tell stories about what we're painting. Not only do we tell stories about what we're painting by the colors we choose. That's always a good way to tell a story. A shorthand. We have cultural shorthands. If something's wearing black, maybe they're evil. Maybe if someone's purple, maybe they're rich. Red, they might be sporty, or flashy. Lots of cultural shorthand with the colors we choose. We tell our stories with the colors we choose. These were colored blue on the packages, so I just kind of went. I didn't know that I really consciously went with blue, but after I saw that it was blue on the package, I kind of stopped questioning my choices, so to speak. So, because sometimes when you're painting, you tend to question your choice. Is it going to look right? Is it going to be right? Nothing wrong with questioning, but sometimes the best thing to do is just to not question and just go with it and let the paint take you. Let that paint take you where it's going to go. We just don't know. We just don't know where our adventure is going to lead us. So, like Doc Brown said, where we're going, there are no roads. So enjoy the adventure when you're painting. And if it doesn't work out, if it's not doing what you want it to do, that's fine. Let it dry and paint right over it. It's just paint. You can't hurt it. It's just paint. It is just paint, folks. That's all it is. In a couple of weeks, I'll be running a paint and take at a local convention. Again, it's what I do. I really do enjoy running paint and takes. I love seeing people paint their first miniature. They come in, they say, "I can't do that," and I say, "Challenge accepted." It's it's really rewarding seeing people surpass their expectations. Taking them to a different place that they never even thought existed. Oh, I can't do that. I'm a perfectionist. Well, not every stroke is going to be perfect, but I can guarantee you that if you do this, even though your strokes may not be perfect, you'll have a perfect figure by the time you're done. You know, and the thing is, I don't want to teach people how I paint. I want people to learn a few methods, and I want them to figure out how they paint. You know, that's kind of where I'm at with this stuff. Is I want people to learn how they paint. I don't want them to say, "Oh, JP, he paints like this, so I have to paint like that as well." I want them to find their own level. You know, and that is really, I don't want to say that it can be the challenge, but it is rewarding when you find when you incorporate something that you've learned and you incorporate it to your own way of doing things and you make it yours. The zoo of life. I agree. I have to put paint on a model sometimes, good or bad. I can't start over or change until my first thoughts are processed enough to let alternatives come forward. Yeah, exactly. Black Skull. I think that's our oars are in the same water on that. I think. I mean, sometimes you just have to, or you have an idea how things you want things to be at the end, and you're just not sure how they're getting there. Like, like with these, okay, like with my Nova Wolves, I'm not sure how I'm going to get where I want to go with them. I'm kind of at a weird stance still. Um, it's just a weird thing. I'm not feeling confident, but they're not looking terrible. They're not looking great, but they're not looking terrible. It's just I've got more work to do on them. Part of it is the undercoat. I think got a little thick because of things. I did it in the wintertime, and I just had very short time to really get a good paint undercoat on there because it was like the only one day we had this really amazing day. It was like 65 degrees, and you know when you got a 65-degree day in the middle of December, you're gonna take that opportunity if you can to do it. And I was running out of sunlight and I was running out of warmth, so it was, and it just the paint just wasn't drying as quickly as I felt like it should. So it was kind of a thing, you know. So it didn't go quite, the undercoat didn't go quite as well as I wanted to. And then I tried to use regular orange, and the regular orange was too bright. And I thought that the Nova orange might be too saturated. So I was holding off on that. I was going to use it as the actual um, highlights, but the Nova orange actually turned out better than the regular orange. Spoils his daughter because he's full of remorse. Oh, nice, Quandam. Nice. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, a Remorhaz is a monster that attacks you, kills half the party, then goes into a shame spiral for days later. Well, I want to invite you all to come back on Thursday evening between the hours of 7 o'clock and 11, where we will be finishing these critters up, and hopefully we'll be able to give them away on Thursday. So, all right, well, let's raid out, and thank you for all joining here with me this evening. A party pooper too. So we're gonna say good night to YouTube. Oh, you're welcome, Black Skull. I always enjoy the stream. I'm glad you could stop in and make it tonight. Always a pleasure to see you, old friend. And let's see. So we're going to say goodnight to YouTube. Good night, YouTube. Remember, folks, no matter how bad today might have been for you, the sun's coming up tomorrow and the world is a better place with you in it. So we're going to say goodnight to